They're saying, "Oh, geez, Cap, you've been improving so fast. This, that, or the other." Man, every time I hear that, oh, I'm just like, hell yeah! It's like such validation. You know what I
Hell
mean?
it. Well, yeah, and like again, especially like because if I recall, this is kind of like the first time you're really like kind of like delving like really diving into like the improvement process in like a more formal way, like other than just like grind like grinding games and stuff. So yeah, it's I think that it has to feel good to start. Like I always think it's great when you start things off on the right foot, and it sounds like you're doing that. So good on you. Uh,
Yeah. No, thank you.
no, this is what you know. What I love what I do for things like this. So with this in mind, you mentioned that you want to get the right takeaways from solo practice and VOD review. Um, so
Yeah.
you so it's like so I can walk you through how I've been doing things for the past month for your feedback. That I think is a good no makes sense as a starting point. Do you have a VOD for us to look at potentially, or like how did you foresee this time being like what did you see us doing with this time?
So I guess what I wanted to do is just show you like, so okay, for example, I guess just run through like what I do every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and just in terms of just tech skill, like I have like a short little tech skill sort of grind, right? Um, and and then I kind of run through those drills. And right now I have like two of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I run based off of like some VODs I reviewed and some common situations that had that sort of big margin that you kind of mentioned to me, right? Like,
Yeah.
um,
Like there's a wavelength, like the short hop versus fox on the ground kind of thing, like with
yeah,
distance and like, yeah, because like that one comes up a ton, so it's like knowing what to do there, like cleanly, efficiently, it's super, super useful.
yeah. So I have that one that I still do, and then another one where I noticed this super good Marth here in Tampa. I was looking at a VOD against him, and I noticed that if he's in the corner, he had a very easy time getting in from the corner against me, right? Or I'd give up space, right? So I sort of made a drill, so to
Ooh.
speak, of Marth in the corner, kind of, he
How to
could
like
be nearing.
how to threaten
Yeah,
him, counter hit him, like how to pressure. Oh, I like that. That sounds really
yeah,
good.
yeah. So like, I mean, I do that. I guess my question is, or like, what I'm sort of confused about, I guess, is that like, okay, let's say I like for example, I played at a local on Tuesday. And there's this this Ganon that's just crazy cracked out named Cal 5 and he
Oh yeah, know all about him. Yep.
oh my gosh, man, he's just whooped me every time. I've yet to beat him. I'm like 6-0 against him. And I was looking at our games from Tuesday, right? Like today. Um and like I guess my question is like am I making I don't know if this is up to me, but am I making a drill, so to speak, for every VOD I review? And if not, what am I sort of, like, I guess, like, if I'm not making a drill, I don't really know what else to look at or do besides just like taking notes. But I don't know if if that even works, right? Because I don't want to like take notes and sure, I have them saved, but I don't like absorb them, right? And then I just have the notes there, but like I forget about it. I don't know if that
Right.
makes sense.
No, that makes that what your concerns are. Your concerns seem sensible. Like they make sense to me. I would say that you don't necessarily need to make like a whole like save state, like a whole formal drill. But I would say that like opening Uncle Punch and like or opening Uncle Punch, playing with a friend, so whatever, like however you want to do it. There is, I would still try to like in a practical manner like do some of like actually perform some of the counterplay to get so you kind of like get a feel for like how you're like maybe do like some of the like steps. Maybe you don't need to have Ganon doing like the moves or something, but like you still have Ganon on the screen. You still have like you queue up the level, and you like do the motion for the thing. You do the movements or actions for the things that you want to do. If it's a fairly straightforward like change, yeah, I would say there's value in like executing it, but you don't have to like constantly practice it or something. Like to just some time to get the hang of it, I think is valuable though.
Okay. Okay. So like for example, I guess like I was reviewing something today, um, and I noticed I kept contesting Ganon on the platform. Right,
Hmm.
I come from below him, I try to jump up to him, and then I just get destroyed. Right, like I get a fair or like this crazy dare, or you know, just like I wasn't approaching in this like in a smart way at all. Um, so
Okay.
then from there,
Mhm.
I don't know again if that's sort of a drill to make or just a note I should make to myself, like, hey, don't contest on the platform, right? So like I guess I'm sort of
Hmm.
like,
Wait, hold on. So we just did something. So we made like we decided. So you said the solution is like don't contest him on the platform, but like is that necessarily like what we want to be like? Is that necessarily like the takeaway? Like how did we decide that? Just because we approached and things went wrong?
yeah, yeah, I guess I just sort of rushed to it, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah, because right, I got you.
because like so like what I'll kind of spoil it for you. The real purpose of the drills and such, like the work we do coming out of the VOD review, is to help us like get a physical or tactile understanding of the situation. We are trying to like understand the actual like we're testing. It's kind of like a testing ground, really, where we can try different ways of like tackling the problem and see which ones see which ones feel most effective. It is entirely possible that you might still conclude at the end of that testing that attacking Ganon in that position is just not worthwhile. But it's usually not quite that extreme. What you'll find is like there's certain ways you have to do it, or like there's maybe some setup that like there's a setup that you have to do, or like there's a move like you have to kind of like move into a certain spot that gives you a way to like deal with him if he like just runs off the platform and fares you, but like still allows you to like kind of like tease his range and like potentially get under him if he like plays passively. So there's gonna be like we're trying to like spot like understand the position itself and like what no and the kind of like what things can happen and how quickly they happen and what that means for us in terms of like what decisions we're gonna make. But
Oh, I think I gotcha. So, like for example, if I were to go back to that situation, right? So,
mhm,
like, all right, I noticed I just, I got, hit when I was trying to hit Ganon on a platform in this specific manner, and then he got a huge punish off it, 2 hits, classic Ganon, I'm dead, right?
yeah.
Um, so then what I would do then, for example, is just like that, right? Just
So
super
like
quick, maybe
Battlefield.
make,
So if like
yeah, yeah,
so like something like so it's like something like this, and you'd go over and like attack him, right?
right.
Okay.
So
What did he do?
I I guess what I would do then is, yeah, because I think if I'm just saying, yeah, let me just not attack them on platform, it's like, damn, well, maybe there is a better way to do it. I guess I would experiment with that exact situation, right, and see what I could have done differently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that sort of what you're kind of alluding to, right?
Yeah, so what I do in these spots is I try to break down like what each character can do. So like as an example, if I'm taking control of Ganondorf here, like I know that he can come down with like his fair like with a pretty powerful fair hitbox like so.
Mhm.
I also know that he can potentially jump over and hit us. It's not like this is pretty easy to see coming, but like it is important to note because like we want to be aware that he can do that. The other thing that he could do is like he could shield drop this sphere or platform drop it. Like he can also wave dash back and do it and like fast fall it. Like he's got a lot of ways of doing his attacks, but his attacks are like and then he's got his shield and dash dance and such. So we know that he doesn't have we know that he has a lot of like he has powerful options and they're like they're strong, like they're strong, they're big, but they are kind of on the slower side.
Right.
So I would say here, knowing what we know about like his options, where do you think like what like I'm not sure I think that we want to go in, but I just think we want to be really careful about it. So I'm not sure I'd actually wave dash here. I might actually consider
Yeah.
walking. Because like it's
Yeah.
easy for us to like abort mission after walking, like because we can wave dash back out of it, like and go pretty far to like avoid his huge moves. But like walking also kind of like lets us like go take this slow because we don't want to like crash into his. We don't want to crash into like one of his like into him just run off fair or something or like fall through platform back air, right? So like this gives us precision when like precision, which is like something that we like kind of need.
Yeah, like that one fox drill that you basically like made for me, right? Has been so useful because like not just because of that specific situation with fox, right? But it just kind of just it helped me realize a lot of the rushing in I was doing. I've taken things like a lot slower, right? A lot more, I guess, conscious, right? When I'm kind of approaching or trying to approach, or I feint an approach or make it ambiguous. So like, no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So like with that in mind, like what actually happened? Like do you happen to have that like that moment? Like do you have the VOD for that moment? I'm curious as to what exactly was going on there.
Let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah. Send it my way. Like let's actually look at this cuz like maybe we can, maybe this is worth like depending on what it is, if it comes up enough, I would say cuz the other thing I would say is like it's also based on like how often does this problem come up? Like, is this a problem that comes up like maybe one time versus this? Like, if it's a problem that comes up one time versus like an ice climber player and it doesn't even lead to a grab or something, like that's such low severity. Like, who cares? But like, if it's something that like, if you know, cow 5 like cow is like extremely good. It's very likely that you're gonna have to, that if you continue to push rank and like you know continue to get stronger, you're going to fight him more. So if this is like going to be a weekly problem, then yeah, I would say that like that's worth an investment.
Yeah, and I definitely play him every single local.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to find the exact bot because it's not a Slippy file. It's a
Okay.
it's a just post up. So what I'm gonna do is I'll send you.
Do you have like is it like a match that's uploaded or like a Twitch stream or something?
Yeah, it's a like a YouTube stream.
Oh, okay.
And then I think I should have been with the timestamp on
Yep,
it too.
I see it. We got it. We're cooking.
Okay, and then the timestamp is 238, 238ish, like 238.
Gotcha. So gotcha. So like
that first game.
Yeah, let's watch this. So like. So what is like what's your strategy? What's your plan for this matchup? I see you're using a lot of jabs and like down smashes and stuff. Like when you get in on him, this makes sense. But like, what are Ganon's weaknesses in your opinion? And like, how are you planning on like exploiting those to like win the game?
I mean, like I know for it feels like he just wants me to come in kind of reckless, right? And then I can get hit pretty hard. So like what I try to do is I try to make my approaching a little ambiguous, which I really wasn't doing before, right? So whether I'm mixing in wave dashes and dash dances, to
yeah. No, go ahead. It's all good. Oh wait, did we lose connection?
Oh, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I think we lost. Okay. I think with the audio cut for a moment. So basically, you said that he's trying to make you come in recklessly. So you're trying to be more. You're trying to be more like balanced, I guess. Like and yeah, just play a more. You're playing a more complete neutral game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I should be doing anyways, basically against everyone. But like, for Ganondorf, I just try not to rush in, like I just did right there, and. I usually just
that would look good. Oh, USD. Okay, but like that was the play was good. It's just you happened to like fuck up your B, so then you died. But like that's like not like this all looks good to me. One thing I would question is so you get this like great like falling nair off the platform. Like you hit this like super low on his shield. This was really impressive. What's the plan with like what comes next? So you go for this jab. Does Ganondorf have good crouch cancel moves?
No, I don't think so. Maybe down tilt, but that takes like 1,000 years to come out.
Yeah, so like especially at high percent, exactly. I think that this like shield, like him shielding after CC, I think makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah. I think I wanted to grab, but I got a little flustered and then it did like the worst of on shield. But
I think
usually what I like
okay,
to do is like,
jab grab. So normally you would jab grab. You're saying.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. Fair enough.
I don't know why I went for that up B,
I think
but
you wanted
that's
to
what I
kill him.
wanted.
I think you were down 4-2 and you wanted to kill him.
Yeah, for sure.
like, nice. Okay, so
Let's go.
yeah, easy. You know what? Equalizer.
I'm taking it. Yeah, I took it. I
Interesting.
dropped that.
What do you get off? What do you get off that down throw normally? Like, is that a down
Um,
smash
de-
or?
depending on how he DIs, a down smash or an up smash.
Okay, so what is it
Or
here?
I think it was supposed to be a down smash. That was probably a little tight. So I don't know. I think a down smash is what I would have gone for, but I sort of choked it.
Okay.
I don't know if that would have hit.
What are your thoughts on up throw?
Yeah, I up throw later in the set, especially in lower percents. I mean, I just up throw, especially at zero. I can just up throw up smash depending if he. I think I think I was scared that he would be on the platform, but it can be a good thing if I get him on the platform because then I can tech chase. Um, so
Ah.
I don't know really what I was going for there too much.
Hmm.
Surprising.
So there's something I'm noticing like when we're discussing this. You seem to have a good idea on like what hits you can do, but what I'm noticing is that they're not like we're not like looking at how these things attack Ganon's weaknesses or create like the best advantage state possible for us. So like to me, really a game plan is kind of like a system of like how we avoid their hits so we don't lose, but also how we get our hits so we win. But like as part of that, as part of the us getting our hits bit, like once like because that leads into our punish game, we want to be mindful, like we want to be aware of like what the best paths we have to taking the opponent's stock are. And usually what that means is like what are the paths that our character what are the strongest paths we have that most effectively attack their weaknesses are. So one thing I'd be curious to know is if you had to say like the things that Ganon struggles with, like the things he's bad at, the thing like the spots he's like not like the things that he is susceptible to. What would you say are some of the what would you say some of those things are? Like what is Ganon bad? Like what is bad about Ganon?
I think getting back to ledge.
Okay,
Um,
so like when he's recovering off stage, like he's bad at. Are you saying his recovery's bad? Like what do you mean by that?
I mean, I guess it really depends, right? Because he can just down B and then just double jump like crazy. I guess like his up B, I can once he does his up B, depending on where he does it, you know, it's I could somewhat follow up. I mean, especially if it's below the stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Because it's
and
not like Marth. It's not like Marth or something or like Jigglypuff or Peach where they have like where they can hover in place, or like just straight up fly in one of their cases, where they have like disjointed moves that they can swing off stage and then still be like fine to like recover after. Like Ganondorf doesn't have all of those things. Like he has kind of some of them, like sort of sometimes with his double jump up air, but a lot of times like if he attacks us when we're like edge guarding him in a lot of positions, he just like dies because he can't make it back. So like
yeah,
because he falls faster, right? So I think that like edge guardable recovery, like even if we're Luigi who has like some problems with that with his physics, like I think that edge guardable recovery is absolutely a like worthwhile like weakness to be like looking to like work with. So I'd say that with that in mind, putting him on the platform is actually a really good idea because it puts him in a spot where we can fair him. If he rolls to the edge or something, like let's say he DIs our like throw over here, right? If he techs in place or rolls to the edge or no techs here, which is like 3 of the options, like we can probably fair him off stage, and like our fair is very powerful, like for like at low percents relative to like things, right? So I'm not saying that we will get the Gimp, but I am saying that like it gives us like a very workable position to like snowball advantage.
okay.
Does that make sense, or do I sound crazy?
Yeah. No, I think that makes perfect sense. Well, I mean, what you said earlier, I think like that kind of a little light bulb went off in my head. You said like, you know, what are you doing to like you need to like how you play, like how you attack, not defending. Like obviously, watching, making sure you don't lose, but like what are you doing to exploit their weaknesses to make them lose? I guess, right? And
Yeah. So I'll give you an. I'll
getting
get. Yeah, exactly. Like, see, like, so here's a great example. So you get this like you get this sick dig down smash into like fair, and one thing I'm curious about is, what's your plan after getting that hit? Because I feel like do you think that the thing you did with that down smash fair was the best thing you could have done with that?
No. Well, if
Oh
I
my god.
probably should have done the down smash, I probably could have done a
Mm-hmm.
like a grab or something to toss him off stage. Down smash just sends him up, right?
I,
And
I, I, to be clear, I really like the down smash fair. I do not have an issue with the down smash fair. It's like, I'm just curious about what we do after the fair.
So when I was looking at this, I noticed that. So after I hit him with the fair,
Mm-hmm.
um, I sent him a little off stage, and I backed away from the ledge when I should have done. I was in a perfect spot for like an F tilt. I don't think I could have followed up with another fair in time.
Okay.
So like I saw him get hit. Okay, I can't really do much. I could have done maybe a wavelands into another fair.
That makes sense to me. Like, wave landing off the platform to stay close. Like, wave landing forward off the platform here to stay close makes a ton of sense to me.
Yeah, I think I did that in this game. I tried to do that, and I got punished pretty hard because I don't think I was quick enough, or it just wasn't the right area to do it. So I don't think I went for it in this
Okay.
situation.
So how would you get punished for going for, like, a waveland... Like, so what can he... Let's say that he's getting... Like, let's look at when he's getting out of stun. Because, like, I think that we can... There's value in that. So let's see here. So it's, like, around... It's around, like, once he starts, like, turning. Like, so he's in stun up to here. So, like, with knowing that he's in stun up to that, like, up to this point. So we're getting close to it, but, like, we make it further. What could we do? Like, we can't waveland into fair because we're going to be below him. What do we have to do? We have to probably double jump, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one cool thing about what are one weakness another weakness about Ganon that we can actually we're actually attacking a second weakness of Ganon here, which is actually kind of awesome. So if we double jump forward into fair to attack him, like as he's traveling away from us. What are his tools for, like, fighting back when he's in disadvantage? Like, if this is Ganon, he's going to be, like, around here when we're going for this fair. Even if this doesn't true combo, what are his aerial attacks? Are they fast?
Probably the only one really is up air. Everything else is too slow.
Yeah, and up air's, like, kind of up air is, like, has a good hitbox, so it might trade with us. But, like, if he double jumps, does he avoid this fair?
Like double jumps?
Yeah. Like, if he tries to...
So.
Right, like, even if he double jumps back... And the other thing here is, like, again, even if he double jumps away, which is the best one that he's going to have for, like, avoiding this fair, double jumping away means he's then going to definitely have to up B recover.
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
like, or down B. So, like, then we're just attacking a different weak. Like, he's opting to, like... Instead of attacking his, like, lack of fast moves weakness, then we get to attack his, edge guardable recovery weakness. So
right.
By keeping close to him, we get to impose more advantage on him. Because our moves are faster than his. That is a strength of ours. Because our moves come out on, like, frame 3, 5, 7, something like that. And his moves come out on, like, 12, like, 13, 17, stuff like that. With the exception of up air and jab. But do you see how we kind of got here? Because it's like, we're not... It's more about... Because I can tell that your basics are solid. I can tell that you're, like, have a good sense of, like, how your character moves and, like, fights and stuff like that. But now it's like... So now the next step is, like, how do we string these things together into, like, a cohesive game plan? Into, like, how do we make these things, like, kind of, like, flow together in a way that's advantageous? Like, to me, this, like, how you attacked him on the platform was actually really good here. Because, like, So, like, let's think about how Ganondorf would, like, self-defense here, right? So, like, after you do this up air, you're pretty far from him. I don't know if he can shield drop... I don't know if he can shield drop up air. He might be able to, but, like, this is not... It's not obvious to me if he can. And then on the way
Yeah.
down, you controlled his the front of the platform, so he can't like wave dash forward. So once you clear his up air range, you're like basically making it very difficult for him to like do anything but leave the platform. So that was really good containment. What doesn't make sense to me, what makes less sense to me though, is this back air that follows.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the back air for? What are you trying to do with that?
I was trying to catch his jump, and I think I just timed it bad. I was trying to catch him jumping towards me.
Well, he wouldn't be.
I think it was just.
Well, he wouldn't be jumping towards you. He'd be falling through the platform towards you, right? Because you're
Also,
below.
okay.
Because you're below him. Or actually no, because like this one's fine. Oh, he was on the ground for a bit. I see. Okay. So yeah, my bad. Yeah, I misunderstood that situation. So yeah, you wave dash towards him into that back air. Interesting. So you were trying to catch him like jumping out of the corner. Got it. Never mind. This makes sense now. So with that in mind, so then you go for this up air. Got it. So what's the up air doing?
So I was trying to catch in case he was going for a dare. Or just like a drop, a dropping fair. I was just trying to cover that, and I think I've just misspaced that.
Yeah, it's
really bad.
It's more of a timing thing. Like you do the up air instantly, basically. But you're like because you're short hopping, you're too far down. Okay.
And then I panic nared.
Luigi, it's gonna happen sometimes.
It's brutal. Oh, that hurts so much when that happened.
Yeah. Okay. So this how often does that happen? Because I've noticed that we've died at the edge a lot in this set, and like just from this game alone. So I would say, like, would you say does that happen in the later games? Like, do we die like due to mistakes at like near the edge, like getting reversaled stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah. And, well, so and not really so much reversaled. I think it's just a poor handling of the like. Can I tell you when I saw this, like the notes that I took down for that exact situation where I got up hurt?
Yeah.
Is I said verbatim because I saw that and I was like, dang it, man. So okay, 613 flub, what should have been an easy edge guard, got reversaled and died from it. I think I went to ledge too early. Or I went to ledge too fast, and I limited my options so much when he was already below the ledge. If I had waited, I would have had more options available, right? Because he would have had to up B, right? And then I could have just done a simple bear, right? If he's already just up B. That was what I sort of took away from this situation, is that I just needed to. I'm limiting my options too much by just going straight to ledge, when I could have just been right there or a little farther away.
Gotcha. So you want to, like, instead of being here, you want to be, like, here.
Yeah, like, there max, right?
So there's one problem. So I see how you got there, because you're seeing you get hit, but, like, there's one problem with the reasoning here.
Mm-hmm.
The reason he's going here is because he has two options. He does not have just the up air, because he can double jump to sweet spot, or he can double jump up air to hit you for. So he has he's created a 50-50 for himself. Do you see what I mean? Because him double jumping to, like, I get where you're saying, because you're seeing this up air coming out, and like you're going, okay, like a play around that, he's gone low, like we're fine. But what we're not taking into consideration is that he can double jump to just grab the edge here. So this is what I would. So we want to be like careful to like not. We want him to be careful to not make too many assumptions about these situations. Like, to me, this is Ganondorf's like ideal recovery spot, like one of Ganondorf's strong recovery spots, because at this point we really just do have like a straight 50-50, because there's not like a whole lot we can do to like stop. Like if he up airs us, if he up airs and like misses, like yeah, we can punish him after and kill him. Great. But like if he double jumps and we don't really have a way to like tell which one he's doing like in advance, and we can't really like attack him like because of how disjointed his up air is. We can't really like throw it like set our like we could maybe try to like go up here and like come down on him like around his up air, like that might work. but like it gets tricky. To me, the big thing about this situation is we just didn't want to have to play it in the first place. So how we would avoid this, is like, so you hit him off stage here, right? What I notice is that you're staying on stage right now. So what I would be doing is I want Luigi off stage like yesterday. Like I want him off stage. I want him like here right now, so that he can like fall and potentially back air where his wizard foot goes. Like right now, Luigi is here. Where I want Luigi in a perfect world is I want him full hopping so that earlier, like backwards, full hopping or short hopping backwards. Like I want Luigi like positioned like here or here, depending on if you short hop or full hop. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I want like maybe this is too far. Luigi won't go that far. We'll move him a little closer. We'll say like here or here. This seems more realistic. And I'll move this one a bit closer too. But like the point is like you can see the difference, because what we like by going to these spots, we can cut off this, or like force him to go low, because again we can fall into him as he's like coming down with it, as he's recovering out of this. Like look at where his wizard foot ends.
Yeah.
So like it ends here, which would be in our diagram. He goes from with his, we'll make him purple because Ganon. So he's going to about like here. So you see why we've like, or like here roughly. So you see why we've set ourselves up in this way, because like it's like with either jump we could probably hit him out of the spot, couldn't we?
I got you.
How would you do this though? Like let's say you do the short hop one, because it's like it's not as committal. Like you go here, he's coming out here. What do you do?
I just bear. I don't really know what else I could do.
Or double jump bear, because he's like slightly above you. So like you could also like you could do something like this, like there. But yeah, you've got the right idea, and you're gonna have to do more of these edge guards, because our bear isn't like it's got great disjoint, it's super fast, like wonderful move, but it's not super powerful. But it doesn't have to be here, because all we're doing is we're just keeping him in disadvantage. We're just like continuing to like force him back and back and back and back. The other thing that could make sense, if you're like nervous about like contesting the down B, which don't be, his down B is terrible, but like if you are like in a like a last stock situation, or just can't afford to lose that stock, or like whatever, grabbing the edge isn't bad either. Because like you can also just like time a stall while he's like recovering off stage, so you have Galint, like you have like intangibility as he starts to enter your zone. So the way that would work is like when after this wizard foot, he's gonna go into his like double jump up air like spot. He's gonna go like around here, so, like a little bit lower, but yeah, didn't make the diagram big enough. That's okay. I'll just put it here. So when he goes into this spot, as he enters this spot, we want to make sure that we have like refreshed our intangibility around that, like very slightly before that or at that time. Because then it doesn't matter that he has his like 50-50 with his like double jump up air and double jump sweet spot. We can just back air through both of them.
Okay.
Does this make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. If you could generalize this situation.
Yeah.
Right, to like of what we're doing right now, like for many other characters, right? And I know my edge guarding is like it needs a lot of work. Like I'm watching all the VODs, all my VODs. I just have a lot of trouble with edge guarding. But like right now, what we're doing is trying to keep him at a disadvantage and stopping him from getting into his favorable position, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that sort of what?
Yeah. So like, do you know have you ever heard the term advantage state, disadvantage state, like from other games, from this game? Like, have you ever heard those tossed around?
I think so. Yeah.
So, what is? Do you have it? Has anyone ever given you a definition for those?
No.
Okay. So, in my opinion, advantage state is really just the absence of like disadvantage state, because disadvantage state is like the way it's positions in the game, like when somebody's recovering or in shield, or like above us above us in the air out of position, like with especially if they don't have their jump, or in a knockdown. It's, whether teched or not. The advantage state is like, the disadvantage state basically always has one thing in common, and it's that if both players do absolutely nothing, like they just continue, they just do nothing in their respective positions, then at some point something horrible happens to the person in disadvantage. So as an example, like if somebody's shielding, their shield eventually explodes, or they have to release shield, which are both openings. In the case of like the person who's forced to land, who's forced to land for free fall, even if it's just the auto cancel landing frames, there is going to be a period of inaction, or like where they can't attack when they touch the ground. For the person recovering, it's obvious they die. So, and then for knockdown, they have to tech or they have to get up, which are all openings. So, to me, one of the key things about recovering opponents is that they can't wait. Or like there is a finite amount of time that they can wait off stage because they are losing height. They are dying. Like if they do not act, they are going to die. So what we're doing by like going off stage is we are boxing them out of their good spots. We are boxing them out, and cutting off their recovery path. Cutting off access to their good positions. So it's more about us like taking a role as like stopping them from getting into the, because almost every character has like some recovery spots that are good, but like there's only some of them. So what we are and they only have so much height and drift and like double jumps or whatever to like get to those spots. So what we're doing is we are cutting off access to those as best as we can so that we can like compound our advantage. That is what we're doing here. So like for Ganon's good recovery spot really involves like this spot. Like this is really where a lot of the magic happens. I'd also say any spot, like some of the spots up here where he can like potentially edge cancel his up B and stuff, are also somewhat reasonable for him. Like if he's like around here, he's usually fine. It's kind of rare for him to be up here unless we like up smashed him at like high percent and just like, I guess actually no, we're Luigi, so it is kind of common for us, but in general, like we're trying to like, we can't do anything about him going here if a move sends him here, but we can do something about like about him moving here, because this is like a very specific spot. Do you see what I mean? Like, if our up smash puts him here, there's not a whole lot we can do about that. Like, if we up smash and it doesn't kill him, like, there's not a whole lot we can do about his, like, stomp recovery. We're still just playing, like, like, advantage state, like a juggle state at that point. It's not really, like, an edge guard, because he has too many tools. We're just sharking him at that point, which is advantage, but not as strong of an advantage. But, like, this is something we can work with. So, I guess to summarize, like, let's use a different character, like, for this example. Let's use someone who we're a little more familiar with. So, like, Fox. So, what are Fox's good recovery spots?
I was just thinking that. I think higher. It doesn't want to be below the ledge.
Yeah, so what are we doing when we're edge guarding Fox, generally speaking? Like, what's
what I've been trying to do?
Yeah?
Like, what I've been doing recently is I wait by the ledge, not on the ledge, depending on how far away they are. And I watch for a side B. I short hop, I watch for a side B, and then if they do side B, I react to it and I bear it. If I see them do a Firefox, then I just depending on like if they're going high or if they're higher up, right? I try to read where they're gonna go, and that's where I have trouble.
So you're giving me like moves, but like I'm asking more of like what's the process we're trying to do, which is okay. So like what I'd say here is we are trying to force Fox below the level. That is what we are trying to do when we edge guard him, because like when is the instant we do, all he can do is a B, and he's like suddenly like a much more manageable character. So like what I would say here is like, yeah, like we're trying to like achieve that kind of game state, because like once we have him here, like he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, I guess like I was thinking then, let's say we're on the stage and I have the option to send him, off the stage. I'd want to send him lower off the stage than whether it's like a forward throw as opposed to like a dare or something. I don't know if that makes
Yeah,
sense, right? Because I don't want to send him higher, right? Does that make sense?
yeah.
On the right
Like,
track?
think about how Marth's like. Think about what combo finisher is scarier for him. Like when we like forward tilt him off the stage, like, and he has to go below it, or when we like if we like F smash him.
Yeah, getting forward tilted, I would imagine.
Yeah, because like once he's like here, like the thing is like once Fox is like in this kind of spot, all we can checkmate him like very easily.
Right.
Like that's super. Like any like at that point, yeah, it's free.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's he's still got his angles and stuff, and still got stuff, but he only has one move he can do. So like there's very little he can do about a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's like the process with him is we're trying to deplete his height. There is a utility of power in that with enough power we can force him to do the up B too, which also because like there's a point where his like up B is longer than his illusion. So there's kind of like a secondary there is like a good reason to use to like just apply more knockback. The other thing is like if he's forced to do a recovery special, and we like we've whacked him really hard, like with like fair or like down air or something instead of F tilt, like it's not if he has to use almost like the full length of either of his recovery specials. I think that also makes it like a lot like it makes it justifiable. But in general, especially at low percent, yeah, like we want him off stage with as little height as possible. Like we want to we just want to like put him in a spot where we can gimp him from. Because like we don't his recovery is like difficult to edgeguard in the sense that like one it's got a lot of options and there isn't much like you can't really like punish its landing because there isn't any landing lag on a lot of his outcomes. But it's also easy to gimp in that like once you get the hit started, it's actually pretty easy to like take it into death. It's just getting them like if you do everything properly, if you do everything right, it's actually pretty easy to like actually kill him. It's just like it's just you have to set it up a certain way, and getting that first hit is hard. Like compared to say someone like Ganon, who's kind of like the opposite. Like Ganon's like really easy to edgeguard it, but like in the sense that like he's easy to hit when he's coming back, but he doesn't have like oh my god, are you kidding me? That's how we lose.
I know, man.
Oh,
it was such a heartbreaker.
That is some bullshit.
That was so sad.
Yeah.
That's what cost me the game. But no, I see what you're saying. I think that's something I can tell you right now. I don't do, at least like consciously or to an extent that I should, is think about how the moves that I'm doing and the positions that I'm placing myself in. How is that gonna put my opponent at a disadvantage? Like I'm not thinking that.
Yeah. So let's try this. So like we'll play this at normal speed so we can get through more of the set. But like, we'll just like when we get our hits, let's just figure out what we should do with them. Because I think that like we get that let's say we get this up throw fair, but it's clear he DI'd in pretty hard on it. Like, is there something else we could do with this?
Probably not there.
Yeah. When would this fair if we hit this up air, what do we like? What is our goal with it? Like, what are we trying to do with that up air? Do you think?
I mean, at this point, I would probably up air fair.
Why?
I think that's the only, to try to. I don't think I have enough to really get him so hard off stage, so I'm just building percent. I think.
So if that's the case, why are we? So if that's the case, because he's at 49, that's pretty low for Ganon. Why are we stopping at one up air?
I guess I can do another one, yeah.
I think that we should do as many as he gives us. Like, let's try it for science. And he was at 40. What remind me? Was he at 49 when we? Okay, cool. So he's at below 49 when we throw him. It's okay, cool. So he's really around like this percent. Did I have it right? Cool.
Yeah, geez, well.
So then, so he. Oh right, the stupid Uncle Punch thing. Okay, so we'll just do random. That's fine. So like, I would say here. Actually, no, we will do survival DI. We can finesse this. So not here. Just like get out of that. No, god damn it. Okay, I fucked that up because I reset while holding him. That was.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I hate when that happens.
Ah, I'm dumb. All right, it's fine. So let's see here. So if we get him here, we'll just make him tech in place just so he like get the hit. So if we do this.
Yep.
So like I'm like what I'm saying here is like I want to do as many of these as he will legally allow me to, because like I don't see if we're not gonna like this fair doesn't send him anywhere anyway, even after one, right? So like why would we stop our combo if we're like why would we stop our combo if like the difference between hitting the fair at the end is just like 1 damage or something? Like it's negligible. Like we want to just hit him with more like stuff.
So it's like. Yeah, because if he let's say I get one up air and he DIs out on the other up air, I mean the situation's the same.
Yeah.
As if I were to have done the fair, he would have gone out. So
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Alright, I gotcha.
Now it gets a little bit spicier if we start factoring in like landing on the platform, because that gives us access to our ground moves. So we have like other outcomes that are like kind of like that are worth considering here now. But like again, this is where you have to. This is where like you're going to be making decisions. But yeah, I just don't see why we would ever like stop the combo just because Ganon like. I don't see why I would stop the combo. The other thing here is like making him DI away is like on the up airs is going to make our fair better later, because it introduces a reason for him after he's up thrown to like hold out it on after a certain number of hits, right? We are creating opportunities to condition him. Because the reality is that, like, if we, like, get him, like, let me move him over here. If we get, like, up throw fair here, I don't know if I'll be able to do this with the tech skill. Okay, I'm just gonna, like, down smash him, I think. Or, can I not, like, combo that? Oh my god, whatever. Oh, Nair will work. So, Nair into fair. We'll move him over here. Like, look at how far he goes. So, like, there is a real incentive for us to, like, figure out ways to condition him to DI away, because, like, that, like, especially on Ganon's crappy recovery, like, on Ganon's, like, exploitable recovery, like, that is really strong. Yeah, so, like, it is, like, what we're really doing here is, like, we're just trying to create opportunities for us to, like, you know, like, capitalize on, like, the conditioning we're making, but also, like, in a way where we can, like, you know, in a way where we don't lose much, like, while we're establishing it, if he defends well. And up here is, like, absolutely, like, fit that bill. Because, like, again, if you fair, like, if he DIs away on our up air and we only get the same thing we would get off a fair, then good for him.
Yeah.
But, if we get more, then awesome. And it's very likely, like, especially if we haven't shown him any of this, like, why would he think why would he think that he has a reason to be worried, right? But, like, if we get something like that, that's so much more power.
Yeah, because it just was kind of over after that fair. Boom, nothing.
Yeah. I would say, like, a thing that, like, is good in general, be as greedy as your opponent allows you to be.
Yeah. Because, like, yeah, you're getting, like, your hits are, like, so your neutral is really, like, I can see why people are complimenting you, because your neutral is actually really good in a lot of these. Like, I've fought this guy. He's really strong. Yeah.
But, like, and I think this matchup is hard, but, like, you're doing a really good job of, like, keeping up with him, and you're also, like, managing to, like, I really liked that recovery attempt. Could we have air dodged here? No, we were too low. Got a little too low. But, like, yeah, no, all of this seems good. I really truly think, like, a lot of this is just, like, knowing how, like, understanding your punish routes better. So, like, and, like, what you get off your hits. So, like, after this down smash, what do you think the move is?
Well, I probably shouldn't have even done that down smash going in so fast, because I have so much momentum. I'm like, falling off the edge of the stage, or teetering, and then I've SD'd so many times, like, trying to do something. So, like, like assuming I just went in slower down smash, I probably would have done. I think I was at the percent to get it up to. I think DI, favorable to get it up to.
So what? So you jab at the end of this, like. So I guess my question here is: do you think that jab was meant to be an up tilt?
I'm pretty sure. I don't think I meant to jab there.
Okay,
It was either meant to be an up tilt or I was just throwing something out.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So what would you do after the up tilt? Let's say you get that down smash exactly as we described it, like exactly as we hit it here. What would you do after that up tilt if you got it? Like, what do you think the move is? So like we get this like great down smash, and then like let's say that we get that up tilt. What do you think comes next?
I would have probably done another up tilt. It's probably
Okay.
what I would have done. Because I think my options are up tilt or maybe another up air. Because I think if I fair him or something, not gonna it's not gonna do much.
Yeah, he's right at the edge of the stage though.
So low percent though. I think he still had his jump.
Yeah.
Well, either way, he's off stage, right? It doesn't matter, right?
Well, let's consult. Like, this is what I mean. Like, this is like, see, like, this is the value of testing these situations or like getting a feel for them, because we're making all these assumptions about like what he can and can't do, but the reality is we're not really sure. Like, from the sounds of it, we're not actually all that sure about what he can do. So this would be like, this is it. This is why we would like potentially like experiment with these spots, because yeah, we want to understand what his I think it's like this, and then probably, where do you think he DIs the up tilt, in or out?
He would DI it in.
Okay, perfect. We'll just have him DI in a bunch of times. So like we get this, okay, we have to have him DI in on the first one. That's fine. So we'll just have him DI in like the whole time. This is actually, we can then just use trajectory DI inwards, can't we? Okay, so we get our down smash to start, and then what? So we get that. Let's say we get our up tilt here. What do we like? What do we do after? Like, what would you say we do after? After that up tilt. Like you're saying, like yours. So we get this. Oh, I see. So this is why you're saying like we don't want to go in super fast. Is it?
That always happens.
But like, if we don't go in super fast, is it possible we don't get the opening though?
I mean, yeah, I think I could have still gotten there. I was just going, I could have done maybe a medium length wave dash instead of like just
So like here?
close to max. Yeah, something like that would have been easier.
Okay.
Yeah,
And like,
up tilt. Yeah, I don't think it would have hit him. Yeah, he would have just double jumped out.
yeah. So
If it
knowing
was
knowing that, could we do something else?
I don't think there's anything I can do. Maybe a full hop nair, or full hop up air, or full hop fair. Jeez, wow, jeez, I don't know.
Because like that seems okay.
Yeah.
Like, I would say so when you're looking at this, what do you like? So we're assuming that up tilt would work, but like we're kind of discovering it like kind of doesn't. So like,
Yeah.
what is? So does that mean that maybe we shouldn't be down smashing quite this early? Like, when do you think we should be down smash? When do you think down smash makes more sense? Do you think that there's a minimum percent? Like, do you think that 25 would be okay?
I think 25 would be more than okay. I think like 10 or something it would be enough to get me started. No, actually, just kidding. That's basically where it was for the up tilt. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what I'm noticing here is like, I think that with how heavy he is, he's kind of like and again, I'm probably not doing this perfectly, but like he's kind of seems to be like a bit of a weird weight for like down smash stuff. Maybe there's better things we can get with our openings. Like, it's, I'm not saying like, and I'm not sure, but like, you see what I mean? Like, even with like he's acting really quickly out of a lot of these, and it's yeah. Although I guess like so maybe the percent's worth consideration because it's just with the fact that we don't know what we're going to do and he's like jumping out of this. Like there are like call outs with like fairs and stuff that you could do to make this work. Again, we're preying on his like lack of a fast move weakness here. Because like if when he gets hit by this, he doesn't really have like he can't peach nair his way down on his way down. So like if he wants to like attack, he like I think if he attacks his aerial is just gonna like not come out when he's falling. So I think he has to double jump here. So that might be like another avenue that even if our down smash doesn't true combo, maybe we can shark him there like effectively with like short hop fair, short hop up air kind of thing, or full hop fair even. But it's just I feel like the big thing I'm learning is like there's a lot of things we don't know. That is exactly the back air I am talking about. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, this makes it a lot clearer for when I'm reviewing the VODs, honestly.
Yeah.
I think I have a better idea of when you mean drill.
Yeah.
Like,
what do I mean then?
Yeah. Like, because what I was doing is setting up something that I practice like every day, which in some situations you definitely can. That was the worst bear I've ever done in my life.
What went wrong with this? Like why did we go for this bear? Like what were you trying to do here?
I was trying to cut him off. I thought he was gonna go lower, and like I know that I've had problems with like not going out there, so like I do the same thing with Marth. Like I could just do a bear, but I just fast fell so bad, and that just was not it. I was really upset about that.
Know what it is? Okay, there's a different. So this one was an amazing. This was a great down air. This was an amazing like going low kind of thing, and going out there thing. This one doesn't work because the way he's entered the space is different. So like here on that one he wizard foot, like he used his down B to go there. But on this next one, he has his jump, so he's able to stay, like, kind of, like, straddle the line and stay above it by using his jump and up B. So, like, that's the difference. On one of them, he entered the space with the down B, so that's why he was able, like, that's why you're able to get the free hit. On on the one that followed, though, he didn't. So, like, let's actually apply this, like, to this situation. So, like, in this, you then hit him off with this fair. Tell me what we should be doing right now.
Let me see. Probably should be off stage. I think I should be in that exact look. He's entering the same place where that same short hop bear, or at least starting to threaten that zone. Or could have grabbed ledge.
You wind up grabbing edge, and I do think the edge grab is good. What I take issue with is what we do with it afterwards. So what do you think? What do you think I'm going to suggest we do?
Assuming maybe like a ledge dash grab.
You could also up B him.
Could up B him, yep.
Because like there's 10 frames of landing lag from air dodges, right? Like that's how wave dashing works. So as long as as long as our wave land is finished and we're close by at the time he's doing this, free up B.
Yeah. I definitely have a bad habit of fairing from ledge and at spots where it doesn't really make sense. It's reverse.
Yeah, so like let's talk about like this reverse hit. So you go across the stage here, but then like this jump here. Was this supposed to be a wave land, or do you think you were like a wave dash? Or do you because you could probably consider wave dash F jump here?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember that happening, and I was upset about it.
Okay, cool. So perfect. So like we don't have to go over that one. That's perfect.
And then messed up. Yep.
Oh, you're so fancy. Okay. But yeah, so like you have a better idea. You're saying you have a better idea of like what the point of the VOD review is. It's more to like flag areas, allow it like kind of like help you spot areas like things you like situations or like areas of a matchup you don't really understand. So then you can like kind of like explore them. And then like the drills are really just meant to like help you like gain like an understanding of those things so that you're then more equipped to like, so you're more equipped to like fighting them next time. Yeah.
You may want to skip the next like 10 seconds of this.
Oh yeah, cutscene. You're holding on really well. You're holding on really well here.
Oh man, it's always so close. It's always last stock.
Do you take a
Couple of,
game?
yeah, I take this game here,
Is it
and then
Yoshi's where
as the
is it Yoshi's where everything goes like? How does Yoshi's go? Because like
bad.
bad. Okay. With our last few minutes,
Up here.
let's take a look at this. Oh no! Okay.
Ooh, yep. Sucks.
Oh,
Jump down.
did you burn your jump?
Mm-hmm. So it hits me out, and then hits me right there. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So like, okay, this is just like a Luigi. This is just from like being like a 8,000 years old. But like, the thing about being Luigi in the spot is that while it sucks total ass to like have your jump taken, you have to DI away from this up here because you can still make it back with your side B and like on a side B misfire. But if you just die to the combo, like you don't have that 12.5%. So like you have to just like make sure that you don't give him the fair at the end, because if you give him the fair at the end, you're dead. No matter you're always dead. But like if it's just you just have to do it. It's spooky, but like believe.
Yeah. For sure.
See, like this makes so much sense. Like, oh my god. Okay, this is a good no this is good. So you have a really the ideas here are really good. Like the way that you set up this edge guard is actually quite good, because like the way that you like outspace this back here is nuts. So, and then you go into this spot when he's recovering. So like here's the thing. With what we've kind of like learned about Ganon recovering, what do you think that this was the best like use of our play?
No.
Okay, what makes more sense? Like, with what we know about edge guarding and how we're trying to, like, stop them from getting into their good spots, what makes more sense here than this waveland off fair?
I mean, I probably wouldn't have wave landed on the platform at all. I probably would have ran under it and did a short hop fair or an F tilt if I saw it was going towards the ledge.
Yeah, so, like, you hit him here. So you're basically the plan here, if we had to map this out, is from this spot we go forward. How far forward do we go? And like you said, we dash. Do we dash or do we walk?
I would have dashed. I don't know if that's I probably should have. Well, I don't know. I mean, I would have dashed.
It's okay. Like it's okay if you don't know, but like you're saying you would have dashed. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say you dash here. So, okay, there's two good things. There's one really good thing about dash here. Dash gets you closer to the edge, so if you want to, like, run off and fair him, the challenge that he faces right now is that in his current position, the problem he has to solve is, like, how do I get, like, he doesn't have a good recovery spot from where he is. Like, he's gonna recover out of stun about here, and then he like double jumps forward into air dodge to kind of like move like this. But the other thing that he could do is like he could try to fall for the edge by just going forward. But by us standing here, we're actually in a really good spot to be able to do that, to deal with that.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, actually, no, dash makes a lot of sense, because you could also dash and then crouch. You could, like, dash and then dash cancel so you still keep access to F-tilt. Yeah, dash is good here. Dash is really good here.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what... I think that waveland just wasn't the move. I think I got too excited.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The other thing that makes some amount of sense to me is honestly just grabbing the edge. Because we could ledge hop back here into this spot. Like, double jump up at him. Yeah. But, like, this is what I mean. Like, because what we're really doing is we're recognizing that, like, his way back, like, the ways that he has to make it back, probably, like, most efficiently, probably involve an air dodge here. So, like, he's moving from here to here. Or they probably involve him, like, going into this spot. Or they involve him, like, drifting back away from us. And then, or like drifting down here and then going for that like double jump up air thing, 50-50. But that loses to us grabbing the edge. So he doesn't like, so with us taking this position, that one like is this one's kind of like checked. Like this, if this is where we're going first, this is like checked by that. So like he can't go here. So then like his options are like this doesn't also make sense if we're here in actionable because like then we can just like F tilt him. So like this one is kind of checked too. So then it's really just like going above us, and by being here and under the platform, we have ways of like combating. Like if he double jumps above this platform, we might be scared of stomp, but we can crouch under that and then potentially keep the edge guard going. Might be awkward because he like might land, but like we have things. We're just kind of like creating a spot where he has as few options, where he has as few viable options as possible. Because then, like, if we narrow down what he's doing to just one thing, like that one thing is usually pretty easy to beat.
Right.
It's kind of like edgeguard. This is exactly what we do to Fox. Because once he's like below the stage line, it's like all he can do is up B. Even if he can up B a bunch of different ways, it's really, if he only has one move, it's, you know, beating one move is a lot easier than beating two.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So we're at time. We're a little over time. Don't worry about it. But like, let's do our takeaways. So what's something? So like, what is something that's? I know that there's a lot of this is more conceptual stuff than last time. But like, what are some things that like that you're planning to take away from this that you want flagged?
Okay, so I guess the biggest thing is using right those drills, I guess, so to speak, to learn more about a specific interaction or what's possible, right? You know, or learn about what my opponent can do here. What can I do here? What could have I done? Because I think that was pretty insightful. But I guess a question would be, right, like, how often in a game do I do that, and like, is that like a drill? You know, what's a drill that I should practice consistently versus, you know, a drill that let me just run this through real quick, see what I can do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm confused about, like, okay, I have a VOD in front of me, and, you know, I'm looking at it. You know, should I be walking out of there with like a bunch of different drills that I practice all the time, or, you know, that's where I'm sort of confused about. If that makes sense.
I think that it's more of a, so let me think about how to ask this. What would it take for you to be comfortable with that, with like some of these situations? Like, at what point would you know, like, at what point, what would be some of the indicators you would see in your play when you were actually comfortable with, like, say, the edge guarding situation, like the edge guarding situation versus Ganondorf's high recovery? What would it take for you to be comfortable with that spot? Like, when would you know that you've kind of like got that one down?
When I'm hitting it in tournament.
Okay.
Consistent, right?
Okay. So, but like, we can't. Okay, fair enough. So that makes sense. And what about like? What would be the things what would be the skills that would be involved with like hitting that consistently in tournament? So we'd have to, like, aside from like, you know, reacting to Ganon's motions, there's like certain jumps and things and like movements that are required of us in order to like execute that edge guard, right? Like, we have to grab the edge at certain times. We have to be comfortable going off stage certain distances. We have to know how to like fall and like keep ourselves in between the like Ganondorf and the stage. Like, all of that kind of like all of those are like, you know, technical skills. Like, those are execution skills. So like,
yeah,
I would say that, and the thing is, those are going to be applicable to a lot of different matchups too, right? Because, you know, Ganondorf's not the only character who like kind of wafts in from like a big distance. Like, Peach does that when we forced her umbrella. Samus does that. Like, Falcon does that.
Hello? I think I lost it. Uh-oh. You hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now. I got you.
Okay, what I was saying is, so the things that make up that Ganondorf edge guard, like, there's certain jumps that you have to do off stage, like backflipping into full hop and short hop, using your, like, timing your double jump, keeping your character positioned with their drift between the opponent and the stage, fast falling at times, not fast falling at times, grabbing the edge in a timely manner, refreshing. All of these things are like skills that are like important versus other characters too. Like Captain Falcon, we
Right.
do similar things. Peach, if we've knocked her out of her float, or even if we haven't sometimes, if she's just not super high, like Peach would be
Yeah.
another candidate. Samus, Jigglypuff to some degree, even Pikachu at times, or the Luigi Ditto. So like all of these skills come up in other matchups like in their own way.
Hmm.
So I would say that like making sure that you have the character like the control of your character to like move them in different ways in like these around those spots on the stage so that you can do like so that you can complete the act like those edgeguard actions because you don't necessarily need to practice the edgeguard itself like if you're doing the edgeguard in front trying it in friendlies, learning it, refining it. You've done a drill or two, like to kind of get the hang of it, and you're doing it more effectively. Then I think that's enough in terms of like just like practicing that specific situation. But the things that I would want represented in my like more regular practice would be like the movements themselves around that spot.
Hmm.
So that we can so that when we need to access a certain part of our edgeguarding toolkit, we can just kind of like because it's those edge guarding movement like those tools are really just made of like moves and actions, like movements and actions. So it's more about like making sure we can nail those, but like yeah, in kind of like a structured fashion. So I don't know if that like answers your question, but that's kind of how I'm looking at it. It's basically like we practice the situation so we kind of understand that spot, but like we also want to like make sure that we're smooth about the movements themselves. Yeah, because that will help us in other matchups too.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I mean, that's what those two replays that I have now, or drills that I have, like especially the Fox one, translates so much. Um, just simple things like that. Okay, and then so I mean that's my biggest takeaway from this sesh, right? Is exactly that, right? Like using those VODs to identify situations where you know I'm not really familiar with something I could have done, or like to learn more about a specific interaction, right? Or or how to what I could have done to put my opponent in a more disadvantaged or disadvantageous position, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like there's like a lot of like situations where I could identify that, right? But I think that it'd be I'd identify those situations that I think were the most impactful, right? So whether it's something I did that I messed up on, that resulted in a large punish, or a punish that I dropped that could have been substantial, right? Instead of focusing on every single hit and percent interaction.
Yeah.
Um,
One tip I'd have with review: don't just focus on the things you did poorly. Because this is a common trap that people fall into. But like you actually had some really I didn't flag them just because we were focusing on other things, but there were some really good combo sequences you hit on Ganondorf that I think actually capture a lot of like what the character struggles with in terms of like him being like a big target, a quick faller, and even if he doesn't take a ton of stun because of like his weight, he doesn't really have a get off me tool. So like you had these like aerial strings, like a lot of them were involved like nair into back air, like with up air, maybe another nair, maybe like finishing on a fair or something that
yeah.
did a really good job of like tracking his DI, the DI he went for, and then like allowed you to kind of like continue chasing him and force him off stage like while doing like 70 damage or like 50 damage or something. Those are really well done. So one tip I'd have is like if it's not just about like focusing on like the areas that are weak. It's also like flagging the parts that are strong and finding ways that we can do them more. So like because like in those situations, like if we get like, because I would say that Ganondorf is really susceptible to being air comboed. Like that's one of his big. That's why Falcon like obliterates him.
Right.
We want that. So like if Luigi has a version of that, we want to be doing that as much as possible. So like seeing what hits led to those conversions. How did we get those openings? Like that's also like absolutely worth looking into. And the nice thing is that you're already probably like if you're doing them and successfully executing good things. You already kind of know how to do them. It's just more about like flagging them and like trying to
Right.
structure our play so we get to benefit from those skills even more than we are currently are. Because one thing I've noticed, especially with like solid players, like it's something I noticed with Moki when I first started working with him. Like a lot of the things I was suggesting to him were things that occasionally cropped up in his gameplay. It's just that like he wasn't aware of those why those things were so strong. So like we needed to just kind of like steer him towards them.
I got you.
Yeah. So like yeah, you have strengths, play to them.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I know that we don't have as many like formal takeaways, but like I think that like this is one that's I feel like there's a lot of lights that turned on. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cut the recording here.